Hi everyone, it's me again, and today I am doing, don't know if you can see that, Are You Recession Ready? Tip number 3. And I'm broadcasting live today on Facebook for a bit of a change, and then we'll be sharing this on my blog as a recorded video later. And I'm sitting in my car in a car park, and I've got the brakes on and the engine off. So for those who've been watching, or even if you haven't, today is number 3 in a series of daily vlogs I'm doing about making your business recession ready. So last week we had news in the local Kent area where I'm based, and also on a national level, which indicated that things are possibly getting a bit tougher with the economy post-Brexit, that maybe we're sliding into recession. So I thought that I would share some ideas this week to help future-proof your business and make your business stronger, more likely to thrive, not just survive, even if we do go into a recession. And if we don't, you'll come out stronger either way. So my tip for today is about sweating your assets. So I'm talking about your marketing assets. In business, we quite often talk about assets as being things that can produce an income for your business. So that might be property that you own, it might be your staff, it might be physical product that you sell, machinery, items such as those that you can either sell if you needed to generate some cash, or as and when you decided to sell your business, they would be factored into the value of the business. And on a day-to-day basis, they're things that help you to generate income. In a marketing capacity, an asset is a piece of marketing collateral or marketing material which can help you to generate income. So the thing itself might not directly be income generating, but it plays a part in your marketing activity, in your marketing campaign. So an example of a marketing asset could be your website. Most people have a website, and that's usually quite a crucial asset for most businesses these days. Other marketing assets might be things like business cards, brochures, leaflets, posters, printed materials. It could be things like your database, if you have a CRM system, or even just a spreadsheet with all of your customer data and potential customers' data in there. Other examples might be things like your email list, your social media following. So that's just some examples, and when times are tough, you want to make those assets work harder. So think about doing a bit of a review, listing all the assets that you have available, and thinking about ways in which you can use them more effectively. And it might be that while you're going through that review, you suddenly remember something that you forgot you even had. So just this week I had a meeting with somebody who had bought an email list with a whole load of useful contact data for potential clients for that business. And they'd never actually used it. So they had a whole list of customers or potential customers sitting there untapped, unused. And I would say, you know, in tough time, that is one of the first things you need to use and unlock the potential of. So go through any list that you've got which you haven't contacted, and just send out a communication, see what the response is, and see if you can start some conversations that might turn into sales. Another example, just got some notes down here which I'm referring. I had a meeting with a client the other day, and they had completely forgotten that they had a whole cupboard full of boxes of brochures. So a really amazing marketing resource there, another example of an asset that they had spent time and money producing. They'd got somebody to design it professionally, it had been printed up on nice paper, full colour, lots of beautiful images, and it was just sitting there. No one knew that it was even there, they'd completely forgotten about it. So that is another asset that that company could leverage. If you've been creating content for social media, or if you've been blogging, you could think about repurposing that content. So that's another way in which you could sweat your assets. So think about maybe adapting a post that you've written for Facebook or something that you've posted on LinkedIn, and think about how you can maybe turn that into a blog, or turn it into a presentation that you could give, or an ebook, or a free downloadable resource for your website. So you've got a piece of written content. How can you use that in different ways to reach different audiences and get your message out to more people? Just thinking of one more example, and I think that's it for my assets. So just have a think about what your assets are and how you can use them more effectively. The other side of this point, looking at it from the other end, is thinking about ways in which you can control your costs and minimize your liability. So a liability is something that costs you money, it's draining money out of your business, and it's not bringing anything back. So those are the things that you want to be cutting back on. And obviously thinking about marketing as an investment, something that you put money in and you get more money back. So it's generating you revenue. So think about what are your marketing costs, and you really need to create a list of all your expenses. It might be that you've got regular payments going out for certain things. Maybe you've got some subscriptions, annual memberships, monthly direct debits going out. You've got to really think about, are they worth it? What return are you getting back? So think about memberships that you've got, think about events that you go to on a regular basis, maybe networking events, and just think back, what business has that generated for you? What opportunities have you got from that? What other value have you got from that? And is it worth continuing with? I've got a couple of other notes down here. Print is another really big one. So in a previous job, I managed to save several £1,000s in the last really big recession, 08-09. I can't remember exactly how much we saved, but probably about maybe 20-30 grand on print costs, just by changing the way that we produce print for the company. So we used to do a seasonal brochure 3 times a year, and it was quite a big booklet. So there were, fairly high costs associated with designing that and printing it and then distributing it and mailing it out to people. And we decided that we could restructure the way that we communicated that information, and we decided to do 2 brochures a year. So we had the same information but being spread over 2 brochures a year rather than 3, and that saved us, as I say, about maybe 20 or 30 grand, which is massive. I had another client recently, I managed to save them 24 grand in a very short space of time, just by having a conversation with them and finding out that they were spending about 2 grand a month on SEO, but they're not a business who were looking really to generate a huge number of leads through their website. They were looking to have a slightly higher end customer, a lot of work so in the B2B arena. So they were looking to develop those leads through networking, really, and through more targeted prospecting rather than just generating a volume of consumer leads through the website. So we decided that actually SEO wasn't that important for them, and to be spending that kind of level of budget just didn't really make sense for where they were at and where they wanted to be. So we cut that cost and discussed other ways in which they can ensure that they continue to rank highly on Google, continue to have interesting, dynamic, relevant, ever-changing content on the website, and just making sure that they're kind of keeping on top of SEO, but without having to fork out 2 grand a month to pay an agency to manage that for them. Another example, this is going to be my last one now, I'm going to share an example. This happens all the time, where people say, shall I place an advert in this magazine, or shall I sign up for this advertising deal? And generally within a very short space of time, having a conversation with somebody, I can determine whether that is a good investment for them to be making, whether it's actually going to help them hit their target audience, and whether they're going to get the return from that advert. And quite often the answer is no, because generally people are looking to do the advert on a tactical basis. They're thinking about just doing a one-off advert to boost their profile, and generally advertising doesn't really work like that. So that was a very quick whistle-stop tour through a list of ideas to help you sweat your marketing assets and review your spending and hopefully help you control your costs. Often in a recession or tough times when budgets are tight, people think about cutting their costs relating to marketing, and I would always suggest that you don't cut your costs, but obviously do control your costs. Know where your money is going, what's going out and what's coming back from it, and whether it's a worthwhile investment. Thanks for the comments, Katrina. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm going to finish off there, and I will be posting another tip tomorrow and another one on Friday to complete the set this week. Thanks for watching. Bye.